In Monster Hunter World, the Insect Glaive is a very agile weapon. On top of that, it's able to buff the user, enhancing their defense, attack and movement speed. Now to gain this, they have to use their Kinsect to extract buffs from different monster body parts, but not all monsters are the same. I'm Darcblade, and in this supplementary guide to the Insect Glaive, we're going to bring you a list of all the Kinsect extract locations for each of the monsters in the game. Now we're going to be going through this alphabetically, so first let's start off with Anjanath. Anjanath can yield 3 of the buffs, red, orange and white. The white is gained from the legs, orange is gained from the body, tail or his arms, and red is gained from the head. Unfortunately, there's no way to gain green extract from Anjanath. Next, moving on to the AZURE RATHALOS. Now he'll yield red if the Kinsect hits him in the head, orange if you hit the body or the legs, white if you hit either of the wings, and green should you hit the tail. Next with Baroth, with this brute wyvern you'll get red from the head, orange from the body or his little arms, white from either of his legs, and green from his tail. Next, one of the more frustrating monsters is Betelgeuse, otherwise known as the B-52 bomber. You'll get red from his head or tail, you'll get white from his legs or wings, and you'll get orange from his body. Now this is one of the monsters that it's difficult to get all 3 buffs quickly from. One tip for hitting the body is to send your Kinsect off behind Betelgeuse with L2 and triangle, and then when he's behind the monster, use L2 and triangle whilst aiming at the monster to try to hit him in the back, thus getting the orange extract. Failing that, I normally just try to go in between his legs and shoot upwards with the Kinsect to get the orange buff that way. Next is Black Diablos. Now for hitting the tail or the head, you will get red extract, you will get orange for hitting the body or either of the wings, and you'll get white for hitting the legs. Next with DEVILJHO, you'll get red for hitting the head, orange for hitting the body or the little arms, green for the tail, and white for the legs. Next with normal Diablos, this is pretty much the same as Black Diablos, so you get red for the head or tail, orange for the body or either of the wings, and white for the legs. Next is DODOGAMA. For this monster you'll get red for the head, orange for the body, white for the forelegs, white for the hind legs, and green for the tail. Next with Great Gyros, this is very similar to DODOGAMA, so you got red for the head, orange for the body, white for all 4 legs, and green for the tail. Next with Great Jagras, in keeping with the other fanged wyverns, you get red for the head, orange for the body, this includes if Great Jagras is actually bloated after feeding as well, white for any of the legs, and green for the tail. Next with Giratodus, with this monster you'll get red for the head, white for any of the legs, white also for the body, and orange for the tail. So a little bit of an unusual one there. Next, moving on to our first Elder Dragon, KIRIN, you'll get red for the head, white for the upper body, and orange for the lower body, normally meaning the legs. Next with Kuluyaku, you get red from hitting its tail, head or arms, white from its legs or body, and a little bit unique, you get orange from hitting the rock when it has one in its arms. Next, moving on to KUSHALA DAORA. For this Elder Dragon you'll get red for the head, orange for the body or any of the legs, white for the wings, and green for the tail. Next with Lavasioth. With this monster you'll get red for either the head or tail, you'll get orange for the body or back. A tip for going for orange would be to aim at the fins actually on his back, and then you'll get white for either of his legs. Next with Legiana, you'll get red for aiming at her head, orange for the body or either of her legs, white for either of her wings, and green for her tail. Now moving on to a personal favourite, Nergigante. This one's a little bit more complex. You'll get orange for hitting his horns, whilst red for the head. For the body you'll also get orange. For either of his front legs you'll get red. For his hind legs you'll get orange. For his wings you'll get white, and for his tail you'll get green. Next, moving on to a Dogoron. With this monster you'll get red for either his head or his forearms where his claws are. You'll get orange for his body or tail, and you'll get white from his hind legs. Next with Paolumu, you'll get red for hitting her head or the neck pouch when she's inflated it. You'll get orange for the body or the tail, and you'll get white for either of the wings and either of the legs. Next with Pink Rathian, you'll get red for hitting her head, orange for the body or either of her legs, white for either of the wings, and green for the tail. Next with Puke Puke, you'll get red for hitting the monster's head, orange for the body or either of its legs, white for its wings, and green for the tail. Next, moving on to Radhaban. Now you will get red for hitting the head, orange for the body or little arms, white for the legs, and orange for the tail. Next, moving on to Rathalos, you will get red for hitting its head, orange for its body or legs, white for either of its wings, and green for its tail. Next with Rathian, you'll get red from hitting her head, white from either of her wings, orange from her legs or body, and green from her tail. Next, moving on to TEOSTRA. For this monster you will get red for hitting its head, orange for the body or its tail, and white for any of its legs or its wings. With Tobi Kadachi you will get red for hitting its head or tail, white for hitting any of its legs, and orange for hitting its body. Next was its Hyaku. Now you can get red in multiple ways, either through the antenna on its head or its forearms. You can get orange from hitting its head or tail, and you can get white from hitting its legs or body. Next with URAGAAN, with this brute wyvern you get red from hitting the head or neck, orange for hitting the body or its forearms, white from either of its legs, and green from the tail. Another one of my personal favourites, DEVILJHO, you will get red from hitting its head, orange from its chest, body or hind legs, white from either of its forelegs or wings, and green from the tail. Now one of the set piece elder dragons, Xeno'jiiva, you will get red from hitting its head or chest, orange from the neck, body or either of the hind legs, white from the wings or the forelegs, and green from the tail. And finally with Zora Magdaros, if you're interested in going for extracts from this creature, you get red from the head, chest, the forelegs or the weak shell, you get white from the hind legs, exhaust organs and tail, and finally you get orange from the body and shell. Although actually going for these is a bit tricky, thus there's no real footage here. But anyway, there we have it. That is a list of all the monsters and the extract locations on each of the monsters. Now this was supposed to be a supplementary guide to the Insect Glaive In-depth guide that's already gone up on the channel. Thus I haven't got into the details of what red, white, orange and green extract actually does. If you want to learn more of the basics as well as the in-depth details about the Insect Glaive and its inner mechanics, then check out that video. Now of course Capcom are bound to introduce more monsters into the game like they did with DEVILJHO, and when that happens I'm bound to make an update video for this list, going over the different extract locations for the new monsters. But anyway, I hope you found this video informative, and until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you a supplementary guide to the Insect Glaive regarding all the monster Kinsect extract locations. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.